E3 affords the video games industry's heavy hitters the chance to show off the latest digital delights for console and PC. Every few years in a cycle as predictable as the changing of the seasons, a new console or handheld is announced to the kind of fanfare usually reserved for royal weddings.
And this year there are two new pieces of hardware on the horizon. The device that's causing the most fuss is the successor to the home console that introduced motion control, the Wii. Now the Wii is currently the #1 selling home machine in the world. Can Nintendo repeat that success with its latest offering?
It's infinitely complex and yet perfectly simple, all at the same time. It can change the way you game personally, and it can change the way you interact with your family and friends.
I don't know about that. At first glance, that controller looks like the result of a fling between a tablet device and a joypad. And it has many tablet-y features too. A 6-inch touchscreen, the ability to browse the web, motion-sensing accelerometers and cameras for video calling.
Those stubby analog sticks and joypad-style buttons belay this device's gaming roots. It's also backwards compatible with the Wii and all of its peripherals, but unlike its predecessor, this machine will be capable of high-definition visuals.
Games were available to play on the show floor, but they were simply proofs of concept, indicating the capabilities of the machine. Most revolved around multiplayer minigames, which were fun, if a little bit too cutesy. But while Nintendo's designers have clearly been enjoying their new toy, what will the vast majority of third-party games designers who don't work for Ninty make of it?
It takes time to put the quality of the content there. We have probably a little bit of a head start when we're looking at it because obviously developing the hardware, but with the Wii U, we've been talking to a lot of the developers early and they're really excited about what they can do. And I think recently Nintendo, with support from third party, it's always been sort of historically people have said that the first party titles always seem to be a bit stronger. But we've noticed that the last few generations we've been introducing, we've been getting more and more support from third party because of, I think, what we can offer them as far as developing really interesting concepts.
The second new piece of hardware comes courtesy of Sony, with its new handheld, the PlayStation Vita. Announced earlier this year, Vita sports front and rear touchscreens, a pin-sharp OLED display, and there'll be Wi-Fi only and 3G versions. An impressive technical lineup, but will it be enough to fend off the relentless assault of smartphones on the handheld gaming sector? As the only major console player at E3 without hardware to show, Microsoft relied on a slew of new games for its Kinect motion control system. Wielding an imaginary lightsaber and invoking the power of the Force seems to be the order of the day for Star Wars, while fantasy adventure fable The Journey sees the player riding a horse in between bouts of spellcasting. Fun Labs showcases additions to the Kinect's repertoire of motion tracking tricks, with applications that can track fingers, scan faces and clothes, as well as object recognition.
So while these experiences are fun, they're a little bit slight, but the most interesting thing about them is that they now indicate what this system is now capable of, as well as making me look a little bit silly.
The Kinect's voice recognition abilities have now been paired with Microsoft's Bing search tools in order to allow the user to search for entertainment content stored or streaming to the 360. So Kinect and its new bag of tricks is helping to keep the console fresh, but in the face of innovative competition from outfits like Nintendo, how long a lifeline does Kinect offer to the current Xbox 360?
We're at 55 million Xboxes sold. We're going to have our biggest year ever, and as you see from analyzing the industry data, we've shown that we're growing at a faster rate than any of our competitors, so I think we've got years out in front of us.
So, Nintendo tries to redefine the home console, Sony refines the handheld, and Microsoft reboots its venerable warhorse.